Well, g'day people. Something different today. We're up in the northern suburbs. We're in the city of Joondalup in Perth, and we're going to have a look at a new section of Principal Shared Path, which starts pretty much at this Canangra pump and jump track. And I came up here a couple of weeks ago during the school holidays, and I counted 20 kids using this track, which I thought was pretty good going on a weekday. Good to see them getting out and about. But we're not here to look at this. We're here to have a look at this new piece of infrastructure. The good and the bad. I don't think there's any ugly. So that's the signage to Greenwood Station. We're going to Warwick Station, which is 3.5 kilometres away. Now essentially we're going to get 3.5 kilometres of really good, high quality, comfortable, convenient, well lit path, which is nice and smooth and wide, and it's got good line markings, it's got good signage. Everything about this is pretty good, so that's great. The bad is this massive missing link. Oh, sorry, I forgot another good bit. It's relatively quiet. We're a reasonable distance here from the cars over there on the freeway, and for a reasonable amount of the length, there's a noise wall between us and the cars, which I think is one of the best things. When you go south of the Mount Henry Bridge, one of the big issues is the bike path along the freeway is very close to the freeway, and you've got to wear earplugs. It's that noisy, or noise cancelling headphones, because they've gone freeway, bike path, noise wall, whereas they should have gone freeway, noise wall, bike path, suburbs. They really screwed that up. The planners just were not thinking at all. When you're driving in a modern car with the windows up, lots of insulation, nice thick windows, you don't hear the traffic noise around you. But when you're outside a vehicle, walking or riding, you definitely hear the cars, that's for sure. Okay, so all the good points. Also done some nice artwork on the noise walls here. See, now it's a bit noisier. I reckon if I had a decibel meter, it would have gone up slightly, but it's not uncomfortable. If I was listening to music or having a chat with someone, I really know I would have to turn the volume up. I think because the traffic volume is really low at whatever it is, 1:45. There's just not that much traffic noise. But I think interestingly, as we go up this little rise, I think the noise must be getting reflected upwards. It's noisier up here than when we were down level with the traffic. But anyway, yeah, the artwork on the noise walls, yeah, it's really nice. It's bright, it's colourful, it's big, it's vibrant, it's all that kind of good stuff. And we're actually going to see some artists that work a little bit further up, who are painting another section of wall. I'll see if I can get a bit of video with them with my camera if it's got any charge left in it. And up here there's a crew doing one of these offshoot paths. They're concreting a path, which is good. They're getting all that set up. The wayfinding signage is all quite good. It's the kind of modern standard stuff they're using, and it's a good size. You can actually read the directions from a distance. It's blue and white. The font size is good. It's clear, and it's not telling you much. You'll just have like suburb, distance, and an arrow, that's all you need. And it's, unlike the old signage around the place, which is pretty lousy. So anyway, here we go, concreting in the new path. Now, not long ago, this section, there was a detour around here. That was the ugly part. So while they were building this path, we were detoured off to the left there through suburbia. And I did a video on the absolute hopelessness of the detour signage whilst this work was underway. And someone in the Main Roads communications team came back to me and said in an email, we don't have to put up detour signage or whatever because we're not closing a principal shared path, and it's just an existing cycling route, and it was just the lamest excuse ever. But interestingly enough, the detour map that they put up on the Main Roads website specifically said this was a shared path, and they were creating a detour So it kind of negated everything that they were trying to tell me. All right, I'm just going to get the camera out. Just see if I can do a bit of filming on the way past. Whoops. I guess not. I have forgotten to charge the battery in that thing, and it is flat as a tack. So you'll just have to take my word for it, or have a look at the cyclic camera footage as we go past. But yeah, they've got 2 or 3 artists here, and yep, it's a traffic control dude giving me a wave. Oh, there's a school on the other side there. So it's got a theme of kids by the look of it. Yeah, okay, not my thing, but you know, it's bright and colourful, and brightens up your day, I guess. So here's some of the signage, easy to read at a distance as you're coming past. And I like how on the top of it, they've got that big blue cycling logo sign, so you can see who the signage is directed at. The other thing, I guess, is you know, the landscaping along here is not too bad as well. Obviously there's work to be done. I presume at some point they're going to come along here and where all these wood chips are, stick in a whole bunch of plants and beautify that a bit. The other good thing you might notice along here, lighting. Now I've got no idea how effective it is. Never been along here at night and probably never will. But it's good to see they've got good lighting in from day one. There's still old bike paths around Perth, even sections of the principal shared path like in Subiaco, where they don't have any integrated lighting. It's going to take about half an hour to get across this intersection.
At this point, I ran into an unexpected and unsignposted detour. I've done a separate video on that, so I'll spare you the mess that I found.
If I was doing this, I would have started the detour back here. I would have closed the path off down here where it meets the road going into the car park, and just directed people up Hawker Avenue. Come on, you can come. Because this makes no sense. Now I'm having a look around here, and I'm not seeing any maps or anything at this point. Okay, now this is where it becomes a bit of a debacle from this point on. Or another debacle, I guess, because what we're looking for here is an easy way to get across the freeway to get onto the path on the other side, on the western side, and then to rejoin the path on this side, on the eastern side, down at the Reid Highway. Now I've tried a couple of bridges across here and they've all been a bit messy, and you get off the path there and there's nothing to tell cyclists where to go through here. You know, is the best way to do this to go on the road and go right around the whole station on the eastern side, or is the best thing to do to come down here through the car park and then get onto this bridge here somehow? Okay, but so they don't make it easy. Okay, there's a ramp over there I could have used, and there's a path there, but I mean that's what I'm going to take. Oh, hang on, is that the right way to go? See, there's a bike shelter there, or a bike lock-up cage, whatever you want to call it. So that says to me they must be, you know, they must be thinking somewhere we've created a route that's convenient and safe for cyclists to get to that cage. And is this it? Well, it's a bit narrow and it's got this pipe work in the middle of it, and I guess it is. That's, yeah, shared zone. Okay, I guess that's the path we're supposed to take. That is the most useless bit of forward planning you can possibly think of. All right, now, what I don't get is in Perth, when they build freeways, you know, kind of started at the city and they push from the city north and they push from the city south. And it's just been done in phases over the last, I don't know, 50 or 60 years. And You know, it's just gone north suburb by suburb over the years, and it's still going north and still going south. And you know, the way they've done it is they push a few kilometres further north. They get to a point, and then the next phase starts, and the bulldozers and graders and stuff start up again, and they just keep pushing on. What they don't do is go, right, we're going to stop here at Warwick, and we're going to go 4 kilometres further north, and we're going to start the freeway again there. And between those 2 points, it's a single lane road in each direction with traffic lights and suburban streets and all that kind of stuff. You know, no one in their right mind would ever think of doing something like that, but that's exactly what they've done with the bike path, or the principal shared path going north. I don't understand why they didn't just keep pushing north from the Reid Highway and do this section from Reid Highway to Warwick Station, and then push north of Warwick. Look, maybe there's really difficult topography in between, or they haven't done their planning properly and set aside land for it, you know, when they were building the freeway and the railway line, etc. Maybe it's just a complete screw up by the planning department, not reserving sufficient space to build a principal shared path. Yeah, okay, well, it'd be nice if they said that explicitly and went, oh dear, how bad. And that means it's going to be a lot more expensive to fix, because we're going to have to come up with some much more expensive engineering solutions, or we're going to have to push a route through the suburbs somehow, which won't be a separated principal shared path like this, but it will at least be a safe, reasonably direct and fairly convenient pathway. You know, I'm looking over the other side there, and there's like a big steep hill, and yeah, I guess it's just with fencing at the top, and I guess without cantilevering a bike path out halfway up the hill, you know, which is possible, just build a bike path on stilts. But obviously that's a much more difficult and expensive project than just you know, digging up a bit of dirt, putting down some crushed sandstone and whacking some asphalt on top. Now, of course, the downside is, what it means is you got this beautiful section that I just rode on down to Warwick Station, and then you're on this old 1960 stuff which is falling to bits. It's not wide enough, it's lumpy, it's bumpy, there's absolutely no lighting, it's just not very good all round, and it's definitely due for replacement or upgrade. Now what I've got to remember to do up here is take the left-hand turn off. Even this asphalt path is not very good. There's a lot of root damage to it, and I'm going thump, 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 thump all the way down. Right, I think I turn left here. This will be the Reid Highway, and from here it's then fantastic, high quality, wide, comfortable, modern path all the way down to the city. It says 15 k's to the city, and I'd say about 13 of that is pretty high quality, or very high quality maybe, just pulling, you know, numbers out of the air. And yeah, it's just disappointing that for whatever reason they've avoided the missing link. Yeah, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be painful, but like getting across these roads here is difficult and painful. Like there's no crosswalks. I don't know where the traffic's coming from at that particular crossing. You know, there's a big red thing there, but what does that mean? You got a slip lane there you got to get across, and there's slip lanes on all these roads that intersect the freeway. They always give me the willies because people come into them at high speed, and they're not looking for cyclists crossing the road, even if there is a pedestrian crossing, and they just tend to go boring around the corner, and heaven help you if you're in the way. Right, we're at Balcatta Road, I'm going to go across the lights here and I'll be back on the high quality stuff and back into town. So yeah, the good, the bad, and the rather indifferent detour. It's yeah. All right, I think that'll do. Oh, yes, that'll definitely do for today.